Many people underestimate the power of investing early. For example, if someone had simply invested half of their savings into the US stock market decades ago, their wealth could easily have grown to over $1 million by the time they retired. Unfortunately, many people realize this too late. The author of this story understood the importance of money in his mid-20s. He became curious about finance and wanted to start a website where he could share what he was learning. However, he struggled with confidence. He felt he didn't know enough about the topic to teach others. Part of the reason was his background. No one in his family had ever built significant wealth. He didn't have a financial role model growing up. His grandfather struggled with gambling, and his parents never finished college. Money management wasn't something that was discussed or taught at home. So if he wanted to understand investing, he had to figure it out on his own. One day, while learning online, he came across a YouTube video titled 3 Words Got Me 3 Million Subscribers. In the video, YouTuber Casey Neistat explained that his success came from consistently uploading. His strategy was simple. Keep creating. That idea sparked a realization. The same principle could apply to investing. Many people feel overwhelmed by the stock market. They hear terms like bull market, bear market, or corrections, and it all sounds confusing. Because of that, they avoid it entirely. But the truth is surprisingly simple. If you look at the history of the US stock market, it has survived major crises: the Great Depression, World Wars, and the dot-com crash. Despite all of these events, the market has continued to grow. This leads to 3 powerful words that many successful investors follow: just keep buying. Instead of trying to perfectly time the market, investors regularly buy assets and stay consistent. Of course, many people hesitate because life is expensive. They wonder how they can invest when rent, groceries, and daily expenses keep rising. These concerns are real, but there are 3 critical reasons why investing still matters. 1. Your energy won't last forever. When you're young, you have the energy to work long hours and chase opportunities. You might stay up late and still wake up ready. But that energy won't last. You need money when you're young and active, but you may need even more when you're older and your body begins to slow down. 2. Protecting your money from inflation. As Henry Youngman joked, it used to take 2 people to carry $10 worth of groceries. Today, a 5-year-old can carry it. Over time, the value of money decreases. If your money simply sits in a savings account without growing, inflation slowly erodes your purchasing power. 3. Turning human capital into financial capital. You exchange your time and effort for income. This is human capital, but your energy decreases over time. When you invest, you build financial capital. Eventually, your investments start generating returns, allowing you to reduce your workload and achieve financial independence. Where and how should you invest? Consider Jeff Cedar. He analyzed everything in horse racing: genetics, muscle density, but he often failed until he found the secret. He discovered that horses with larger hearts performed better. One horse with an unusually large heart won the Triple Crown. The lesson? Often a simple strategy works best. Focus on increasing your income. It has a bigger impact than just cutting expenses. And remember, debt used to build assets can be good, but consumer debt is dangerous. If someone from the future traveled back to give you advice, they might only say 3 words: just keep buying. Your future self will thank you for the decisions you make today. Welcome to part 1, the saving game. Many financial gurus tell you to cut your daily coffee to get rich, but the data tells a different story. To build real wealth, you must focus on the big levers. But Julie introduces the Save Invest Continuum. If your potential annual savings are greater than your expected returns, focus on your career. If your returns are higher, focus on your portfolio. The biggest lie in personal finance is that you can cut your way to wealth. You can only save what you earn. The most reliable path to saving more isn't more budgeting, it's growing your income. To manage lifestyle creep, use the 50% rule. Every time you get a raise or bonus, spend 50% on yourself today and invest the other 50% for your future. No guilt, just growth. Want to splurge on a luxury? Apply the 2X rule. If you buy a $1,000 watch, you must invest $1,000 into an income-producing asset. If you can't afford both, you can't afford the luxury. Now let's move to part 2, the investing game. This is where the data really challenges traditional wisdom. We start with the ultimate debate: lump sum versus DCA. The data is clear. Lump sum investing outperforms dollar cost averaging roughly 75% of the time. Because markets trend upward, keeping cash on the sidelines usually means buying higher later. In a famous thought experiment, Majuli proved that even if you could predict the exact market bottom with perfect information, a simple just keep buying strategy often wins because the dip occurs higher than today's price. Stop picking individual stocks. The stress and time required rarely beat a low-cost index fund. Invest in the whole market, reclaim your time, and let the compounding work for you. Finally, part 3, practical decisions. When should you buy a house? How do you handle a market crash? These frameworks will help you navigate the toughest financial moments. Before buying a house, remember the 10-year rule. Unless you plan to stay for at least a decade, the transaction costs will likely eat your gains. Stability is the foundation of home ownership. Market crashes aren't disasters, they're opportunities. A 10% decline happens almost every other year. View volatility as the price of admission for the long-term wealth you're building. Forget the 4% rule. Focus on the crossover point. The moment your monthly investment income exceeds your monthly expenses, that is the true definition of financial independence. The choice is yours. Will you let fear hold you back, or will you take action today? Join our high IQ community. Comment cheat code below, and your future self will thank you. Let's look at the data on saving. Most people focus on the wrong thing. They try to cut every possible expense, but your savings rate is 80% correlated with your income. The most reliable path to saving more is growing your earning power. Many people cite the 4% rule as the ultimate retirement goal, but empirical evidence shows that most retirees' spending actually decreases by 1% per year in real terms as they age. Your needs change over time. Even a 100% bond portfolio would historically outperform a 24-month DCA into an all-stock portfolio. Why? Because cash sitting idle loses too much ground. When you have the capital, deploy it. Buying a house is a massive financial commitment. The first part of the test, you must plan to stay for at least 10 years. This offsets the transaction costs that can range from 2 to 11%. Part 2, affordability. You should have a 20% down payment available and a debt-to-income ratio below 43%. If you can't meet these criteria, renting is often the smarter financial move. To gain perspective, a net worth of just $4,210 makes you wealthier than 50% of the world's population. Over $93,000 puts you in the top 10% globally. You are already in the game. Consider the investor with horrible luck. He only bought at the absolute market peaks, 1973, 1987, 2000, and 2007. Yet by never selling and just keeping his assets, he still achieved a 9% return. Lifestyle creep is the silent killer of wealth. As your income rises, your standard of living tends to rise with it. If you're not careful, you'll find yourself earning 6 figures, but still living paycheck to paycheck. This is why the 50% rule is so critical. Spending money provides a short-term dopamine hit, but investing provides long-term security. To build a large heart for investing, you must learn to value the financial capital of tomorrow more than the consumer goods of today. Why do we advise against individual stocks? Because the stress and the risk of a single company failing are immense. Diversification isn't just a buzzword, it's your shield against the unpredictable nature of the market. Let's look at the 2x rule in action. If you want that $500 designer jacket, you must also invest $500 into your portfolio. This simple rule ensures that every luxury you enjoy today also builds your wealth for tomorrow. Not everything should be invested in the market. If you need the money in less than 3 years for a wedding or a house deposit, keep it in cash. The market is too volatile for short-term needs. Protect your dreams with liquidity. History shows us how dangerous inflation can be. In the 1970s, prices skyrocketed, eroding the savings of millions. Those who held only cash lost half their purchasing power. Those who held assets survived. Investing isn't just about stocks. REITs and real estate are powerful income-producing assets. They provide a hedge against inflation and a steady stream of dividends that can accelerate your path to the crossover point. To find your crossover point, calculate your total monthly expenses. Then, track your monthly investment income. When the two lines meet, you are officially financially independent. This is the goal of just keep buying. The math of saving is clear. Your savings rate is 80% correlated with your income level. This means that instead of obsessing over every dollar you spend, your primary focus should be on increasing your earning power. Focus on the big levers. History shows that even a 100% bond portfolio usually outperforms a 24-month DCA into stocks. Why? Because the cash sitting on the sidelines loses its value to inflation while the market moves ahead. When you have the money, put it to work. Market crashes are a feature, not a bug. A 10% decline happens on average every other year. If you can't stomach the volatility, you can't enjoy the gains. Stay invested and view every dip as a sale on wealth. At 3% inflation, prices double every 23 years. At 5%, they double in just 14 years. This is why holding cash long-term is the riskiest move of all. Your wealth must grow faster than the silent thief of inflation. Jeff Sater analyzed everything in horse racing: bloodlines, muscle density, genetics. He used every indicator possible, but his predictions still failed. He was looking at too many details and missing the core signal. Eventually, he discovered the secret. Horses with larger hearts performed better. He found one horse with an unusually large heart and recommended betting everything on it. That horse won the Triple Crown. The lesson is profound for your investments. Don't overcomplicate with hundreds of indicators. Find the core signal, consistency and asset quality, and bet on it. Just keep buying. Buying a home isn't just a financial decision. It's a lifestyle one. Pass the 3-part test. Stay 10 years, have 20% down, and keep your debt to income ratio below 43%. If you can't pass, keep renting. To build wealth, you need perspective. A net worth of over $93,000 puts you in the top 10% of the entire world. You are closer to financial freedom than you think. Keep the momentum going. Imagine the investor with horrible luck who bought in 1973, right before the crash. He felt like a failure, but he did the only thing that mattered. He never sold. He stayed the course. Then he bought again in 2000, the peak of the dot-com bubble. Again, the market crashed. Most people would have quit, but he just kept buying income-producing assets. Despite only buying at the worst possible times in 1973, 1987, 2000, and 2007, his annualized return was still 9%. Time in the market always beats timing the market. Just keep buying. If a time traveler from the future gave you one piece of advice, it would be this: just keep buying. Your future self is waiting for you at the crossover point. Will you start today? One of the biggest fears in finance is running out of money in retirement. But the data shows that retiree spending actually decreases by 1% per year in real terms as they age. You won't need as much at 80 as you did at 60. Take a breath. The math is on your side. If you must pick individual stocks, treat it like a hobby. Keep your play money under 5% of your total portfolio. This allows you to scratch that itch without endangering your long-term financial independence. The core of your wealth belongs in the broad market. Don't be surprised when the market drops. A 10% correction happens on average every other year. It's the price of admission for the 10% annualized returns the market provides over the long term. If you're not seeing red occasionally, you're not in the game. Many people wait for a dip to invest, but while you're waiting for a 10% drop, the market might go up 30%. Even if you buy the dip, you're buying at a price higher than today. The data is clear. The best time to invest was yesterday. The second best time is now. If you have children, time is their greatest superpower. Starting a custodial account or a 529 plan today can turn a small amount of money into a generational fortune. You're not just buying assets, you're buying their future freedom. A 1% management fee might sound small, but over 30 years, it can eat more than 30% of your total wealth. Stick to low-cost index funds and ETFs. Don't let high-fee advisors steal the compounding that belongs to you. Before you just keep buying stocks, pay off your high-interest debt. Paying off a 20% APR credit card is the equivalent of a guaranteed 20% return on your money. No investment in the world can beat that with zero risk. Clear the deck first. Not all debt is bad. A low-interest mortgage or a student loan used to increase your human capital can be a powerful wealth-building tool. Use debt as a lever to grow your assets, not to buy consumer goods that lose value. The goal isn't just to have more, it's to have enough. Many people get stuck on the hedonic treadmill, always wanting more as they earn more. If you don't define enough, you'll be a slave to the game forever. Wealth is a tool for freedom, not a scorecard. When you're young, your greatest asset is your human capital. Invest in your education, your skills, and your network. Earning an extra $20,000 a year will do more for your wealth than any stock pick ever could. Build the generator first. True wealth isn't the number in your bank account. It's the ability to say no to things you don't want to do. It's the ability to spend your time how you choose. Just keep buying is the ticket to reclaim your life from the 9-to-5 grind. Even the Great Depression of 1929 couldn't stop the long-term growth of the US stock market. Those who stayed the course and continued to hold assets through the darkest decade in financial history saw their wealth eventually soar. The system is designed to grow. The 2008 financial crisis felt like the end of the world. But for those who just kept buying during the chaos, it was the greatest wealth-building opportunity of a lifetime. Markets are resilient because humans are productive. Never bet against progress. In 2020, the market crashed faster than ever before. Many panicked and sold, but the recovery was just as fast. This proves that volatility is not the same as risk. Risk is being forced to sell at the bottom. Volatility is just the noise of the market. When you get that next raise, don't let lifestyle creep take it all. Use the 50% rule. Spend half on your lifestyle and invest the other half. This way, you enjoy your success today without sacrificing the freedom of your future self. Where are you on the save invest continuum today? If you're young and just starting, your focus should be 90% on increasing your income. If you've already built wealth, your focus shifts to asset allocation. Know your phase to win the game. Remember the 2x rule. If you want a luxury item, you must be able to afford to invest the same amount. It's the ultimate test of affordability. If you can't invest $2,000, you can't afford that $2,000 vacation. Buy your assets first. If your net worth is over $93,000, you are already in the top 10% of the world. Stop comparing yourself to the top 0.1% on social media. You are winning. Keep the consistency, and the crossover point is inevitable. In the end, it all comes down to 3 simple words. Through market crashes, global crises, and life's ups and downs, there is one strategy that has stood the test of time. Don't overcomplicate, don't panic, just keep buying. The decisions you make today to save that extra 10%, to stay in the market when others are selling, are gifts to your future self. One day, you will reach the crossover point, and you will look back and be glad you started. You don't have to do this alone. Join the Red Snow's community of high IQ investors. We share the data, the strategies, and the mindset needed to win. Together, we turn human capital into financial freedom. It's time to take the first step. Comment freedom below to join us. Subscribe for more data-driven wealth strategies. The market is waiting. Your future is calling. Just keep buying.